Welcome to Midnight Signal AI, your source for the latest in artificial intelligence news. It's March 30th, 2026. I'm Alex, here with Jamie, and tonight we're diving into a major facial recognition controversy, a creative tool fighting back against AI scrapers, and why some researchers think better math rather than more hardware is the future of AI. Let's get started.
Biggest story tonight, a Tennessee woman was wrongfully arrested after police in North Dakota relied on AI-powered facial recognition. CNN reports Angela Lips spent days in jail, insisting she'd never even been to North Dakota, yet the system flagged her as a suspect in a theft case.
Yeah, this case is sparking renewed debate about the reliability of AI in law enforcement. According to CNN, the police used facial recognition tech to match surveillance footage, but it misidentified Lips, who had a clean record and lived halfway across the country. The charges were only dropped after her alibi was confirmed, but not before she endured the ordeal of arrest and jail.
It's a stark reminder of the limitations and real-world risks of deploying AI in high-stakes scenarios without sufficient safeguards. Privacy advocates are calling for stricter standards, and the case is fueling calls for transparency around how these systems are trained and validated. If police treat AI matches as conclusive instead of leads, people's lives can be upended by a glitchy algorithm.
And it's not just a technical issue, it's about trust. As more agencies roll out AI tools, each misfire chips away at public confidence and raises the stakes for getting oversight and accountability right. This story is already drawing hundreds of comments and points on Hacker News, with many users questioning not just the tech, but the decision-making process around its use.
Switching gears, let's talk about a clever new open-source project making waves on GitHub and Hacker News, Miasma. Developed by Austin Weeks, Miasma is a tool designed to trap AI web scrapers in what he calls an endless poison pit.
Right, the idea is to serve up content that looks legitimate to scrapers, but is actually just a maze of junk data and infinite loops. The goal? To poison AI models that indiscriminately scrape and train on web data, making it harder for them to extract useful information without permission.
This taps into growing tension between web creators and AI firms. Web owners want control over how their content is used, especially for commercial AI products. Miasma's approach is a kind of digital protest, forcing scrapers to work harder and ideally encouraging better ethical standards for data sourcing.
And it's sparking debate. Some call it a clever defense, others worry about an arms race that could break the open web. But the sheer interest, 200+ Hacker News comments, shows just how much the AI scraping issue has hit a nerve.
On a related note, there's a fascinating piece making the rounds on Substack, arguing that AI's future might depend less on adding more RAM or GPU power, and more on smarter algorithms. The post, "What if AI doesn't need more RAM but better math?" by ADL Rocha is getting traction on Hacker News.
Alex Rocha points out that much of today's focus is on scaling models up, bigger datasets, more memory, more compute. But historically, breakthrough performance jumps have often come from algorithmic improvements, not just hardware upgrades. Think of how transformer architectures revolutionized NLP.
Exactly. The author suggests we're hitting diminishing returns with brute force scaling. The next leap could be new mathematical insights, more efficient training techniques, or entirely different architectures. That could democratize AI too, making powerful models less reliant on massive and expensive infrastructure.
And that's a big deal for global access and sustainability. With AI workloads consuming ever more energy, the hunt for smarter, not just bigger solutions is only going to intensify.
Let's take a step back and connect the dots. Whether it's wrongful arrests, content protection, or core research, the AI field is grappling with some foundational questions about how we build, deploy, and manage these systems.
Absolutely. And these stories aren't just technical debates. They have real impacts, from individual rights to the economics of the web.
And that wraps up our main stories for tonight. Be sure to check the show notes for links if you want to dig deeper into any of these topics.
Thanks for tuning in to Midnight Signal AI. We'll be back tomorrow with more essential updates from the world of artificial intelligence. Until next time, keep building, keep questioning.